Hello everyone, I am Ayat Rabaya. I'm a math teacher in Oxford Schools in the international section. Today we'll start with a new unit, which is unit 18. It's about graphs. We will start with 18.1, which is about gradient of a graph. The meaning of a gradient is a slope of the graph. Now, the meaning of a gradient is the steepness of a graph is described by its gradient. Before that, you have to know this diagram. This diagram we call the XY coordinate. This is the x-axis, it's a number line, the x-axis, horizontal one, the vertical one, y-axis. This is y-axis. This is 0, 0, the original point. 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. If you want to draw any point, let's say the point 4 with a 3. Where is 4 and 3? This is an ordered pair. 4 is the x-axis. 4, it's about x. 3, it's about y. Where we have to draw 4 and 3. 4, let's start with doing 4 on the x-axis. Now 4, this is 4 in the x-axis. 3, the y-axis, 3 up. So this is a 3, 3, this is 4. So the location of 4, 3 is 4, 3. So the place of 4, 3 here, 4 and 3. Let's say 1 and 7. This is 1 with 7 up. Let's say 2 with 0. This is 2, 0. This is 2, 0. Let's say 0, 2. This is 0. This is 2. So remember, the first number, it's about the x-axis, which is the horizontal one. The second number, it's about the y-axis, which is the vertical one. This is the first thing you have to know. Now, let's talk about gradient again. Now, the steepness of a graph. Suppose you have this line. We describe the steepness of the graph by the gradient or the slope. I think it's obvious that this line is steeper than this line. More steeper. Now we have to know how we can find the gradient for any graph. Very important. To find the gradient, you need 2 points located on that line. In general, now let's talk in general. If you have a straight line, goes through these 2 points. Suppose that a straight line goes through 2 points. Any 2 points located on a line. You have to know that any line contains infinitely many points. This is a point, this is a point, this is a point. Just we need 2 points located on a line. Just we need 2 points. Now, to find the gradient, we need 2 points. Let's say the first point, x1, y1, it's symbols. x1, it's a variable, unknown value. x1, y1. The second point is x2, y2. There is a rule, you have to know it. How we can find the gradient, which is y2 minus y1, the difference between the y's or the y coordinates, over or divided by x2 minus x1. So y2 minus y1, change in y, the difference between these 2 y coordinates, divided by change in x, which is the difference between the x coordinates. So again, y2 minus y1 out of x2 minus x1. So it's a rule, a fixed rule, you have to know it. Now let's take example about the gradient. Example, find the gradient of a straight line through these 2 points given. 3, -4. The second point is 6 and 2. Now look, you have to do that. 3, this is x1, -4, y1, 6, x2, now the 2 is y2. Write the rule, the gradient is y2 minus y1 out of x2 minus x1. Just substitute y2, where is y2? Which is 2. 2 minus from the rule, minus. Now y1 -4 divided by x2, which is 6 minus from the rule. Now x1 is 3. Now 2 minus with minus becomes positive. So 2 plus 4 out. 6 minus 3, 3 equals 2 plus 4 is 6 out of 3. 6 out of 3, which is 2. So the gradient is 2 here. Now, in the previous example, we found the gradient by using 2 points through a straight line. Now, another kind, how we can find the gradient by using the graph. Find the gradient of the following line. You have this line. Before we took that, to find any gradient, we need 2 points located on this line. Can you find 2 points here on this line? Can you find any two points? Let's say طبعا there are infinitely many points. I can take 2 points. You can take another 2 points. Another student he can take another 2 points. So I'll take this. Suppose this point. I'll take this point. You have to know how you can find the coordinate of this point. I chose this point. This point 1 in the x-axis, 1 with 2. So the coordinate of this point, which is 1 with 2, 1 and 2. I took the first point. Now the second point, you can take another 2 points. Let's say this point, this one. Okay, 2. This is 2 with 3. 2 with 3. You can take any 2 points located on this line. Now I found 2 points, any 2 points. Now by using the rule, the gradient is y2 minus y1 out of x2 minus x1. How we can know where is y2, where is y1, where is x2, where is x1? Here this is x1, y1, x2, y2. Now substitute, just substitute. Y2 is a 3 minus from the rule. Now y1 is 2 out of x2, which is 2 minus from the rule. Now x1 is 1. Now 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So 1 out of 1 is 1. So the gradient or the slope of this line is 1. Now you have to know that the slope is positive. The line is increasing from down to up. The line is increasing, so you have to know that. You have to know this information. Now, let's talk about types of gradient. There are 4 types of gradient, as we took in the previous example. You know that if the gradient is positive, the line goes up, increasing. So the shape of the line must be like that, increasing. Now, what about if the gradient is negative? We can guess that if the gradient is negative, the slope or the gradient of the line, which is negative, must be the shape of the line goes down from left to right, goes down. So if it's positive, goes up, increasing. If it's negative, goes down. What about if the gradient is 0? The meaning of the gradient is 0. It must be horizontal with the x-axis. This is the x-axis. This is the x-axis. The meaning of a gradient is 0. It means there is no slope. There is no slope. There is no slope. It means the gradient is 0. So if there is no slope, the shape of the line must be parallel to the x-axis, must be horizontal, parallel to the x-axis. So if the slope is 0 or the gradient is 0, the line must be parallel to the x-axis. What about if it's vertical? It's parallel to the y-axis. If it's parallel to the y-axis. Here we call the gradient is undefined. You can search on the internet why we called this one is undefined. So again, if the gradient is positive, the line is increasing. If it's negative, the line is decreasing. If it's 0, parallel to the x-axis. If it's vertical to the parallel to the y-axis, we call it undefined. Now, your homework for 18.1 workbook, page 83, question 5, and page 84, question 6. Thank you for your listening and have a good day.